Are you a former Blackberry user longing for the old days of that classic keyboard on your iPhone? Well, Typo has the solution for you. What's going on, everyone? Steven here. Hope you are all doing well out there. This is my review of the Typo 2 keyboard attachment/case for the iPhone 6. Now, you may have heard about this product before, as it's made tech news headlines due to its controversial Blackberry-like appearance, and multiple lawsuits from Ryan Seacrest's company Typo. But somehow those days are over, and the Typo keyboard is now for sale online and in retail stores as we speak. It's a pretty cool accessory, however it does have some trade-offs, which I'll explain further into the review. Typo focuses on a few key items. It's got a full-featured keyboard with optional backlighting, gives you a more viewable screen space, a lock key for accidental contact when it's in your pockets, a battery indicator, and currency toggles. It's Typo's attempt to provide you with a physical keyboard experience for your iPhone, just like the old Blackberries had. So taking it out of the box, you've got the Typo case, which actually has a two-sectioned snap-on design. In there, you'll find an included micro USB cable and an instruction manual. So to put the case together, you just align the tabs and snap them in. You'll be able to better tell if you're doing it right by looking at the tabs slide in from the inside and feel a slight click. Once put together, I was checking it out and I thought it looked pretty cool. Very reminiscent of the Blackberry Bold series of phones, which looked pretty nice. A couple of notable additions are the home button key for the iPhone on the bottom left and the lock key to the right of the space bar. I thought the keys had a nice quality appearance to them. Installation of the phone into the case is pretty straightforward. I slid the top piece on first, then installed the bottom piece on next without any issues. It didn't feel loose in any way once it was on there. My first impressions of it were it was lightweight and made the phone feel a little lengthier, but didn't affect my ability to hold it. Overall, it's relatively thin, other than the raised keyboard on the front side. One thing to note is that it's a Bluetooth keyboard, which requires battery power, and to maintain a charge, you have to plug in a micro USB charger on the side. Once you've plugged in the charger, you'll notice the red indicator light. Speaking of Bluetooth, there is a little software setup required, but it's easy. You'll need to get the keyboard in pairing mode, which is engaged by holding down the key with the light bulb icon until the blue light on the spacebar blinks repeatedly. In the Bluetooth menu of the iPhone, you'll find Typo 2 keyboard listed, which you'll tap to select, and that's it. You're connected. To make sure it worked, I tested out the home key, which responded really well. It retains all the functionality of tapping the iPhone home button. Now this leads me to the first trade-off of this accessory, which is the loss of Touch ID in the home button. It's blocked off by the keyboard, so you won't be able to utilize Touch ID unless you slide the keyboard section on and off. Another trade-off with the keyboard is it makes accessing the control center of iOS really difficult, and that's something I personally use a lot. The materials of this case are a soft touch plastic matte finish material. Now, I've reviewed an iPhone Incipio case that uses this material, and while it provides great feel with some nice grip, it also comes with a trade-off. It shows fingerprints and oils instantly and requires pretty frequent cleaning. Not a big deal though if that kind of thing doesn't bother you. As far as the actual case element of the Typo 2, it's very minimal. It covers all the edges pretty well, but has almost no lip protection for the display. I'd say you drop this thing from waist distance and above, and you're more than likely to crack the glass display and without a doubt have permanent scratches. It's just not a heavy-duty protective case. For cutouts, Typo did a good job as far as accuracy goes. One thing to note is all the cutouts leave everything exposed, so there is potential for damage to those areas. What I do like is the volume keys and ring silent switch are easy to access. Same thing for the power button. The camera cutout is perfect, with good coverage and the flash won't affect your shots. The charge port and headphone area was pretty well thought out as far as design. It has a small lower level groove to allow a lightning cable to fit. It worked without any issue during testing. Apple EarPods and similar sized headphone jacks fit in there no problem. And while I didn't have any on me at the time, I can just tell a thicker headphone jack is not going to fit in there. Now, of course, you're probably wondering how the keyboard is. I thought it was great. Nice and clicky tactile feedback that felt good. Didn't feel cheap at all. Naturally, it was a little cramped as the keyboard's width is the same as the iPhone's, but it was pretty cool to use, although I'd have to say I prefer touchscreen keyboards. This gives you a nice alternative if you prefer a physical keyboard. One very cool feature of the keyboard is the ability to backlight the keys. A really thoughtful consideration, especially if you are using the keyboard at night. It's nice and bright, and every key was perfectly visible. Now, of course, if you're going to use that feature for extended periods, it's going to drain the battery and require charging more often. So, to sum it up, it's a very cool iPhone accessory with some trade-offs. It's an item that retails at around $80 to $100, so it's kind of a big investment. You'll have to consider for yourself and see if it's worth it. Thanks so much to everyone for checking out this video. I'm looking to grow my channel, and if you're enjoying my content, subscribe now as I will keep more videos coming your way. Liking the video helps out a ton as well, and I'm here to respond to comments you leave down below. Also, be sure to check out my social media links listed in the description and follow me for updates. Once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.